Okay, good evening. Welcome to RLH again. Another week. So once again, Monday night, of course, means GT Sport again and Super GT for the second time. Round two brings us to Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya, and yeah, we see Shane here, who is in AI by the looks of things. I think we've just started quali, so possibly some outlaps. Yeah, I think most people are just finishing off their outlaps, as you can see. Eager to get the fuel burnt off as quickly as possible. They're all in, or pretty much all of them, in the final sector at the moment. Hopefully we'll get a couple of views coming through. We are a little bit late with the stream beginning tonight, but we'll crack on and try and pick up the drivers who are attending. The first point to note is that Fifi joins us, a new driver for this week. And there is another new entry as well. I believe Bagpuss is hopefully with us today. Yeah, there he is. So again, the first look of that Honda, actually. A very striking livery there. We'll try and pick up the new teams as we go along. So I believe we've lost Kyle and we've lost Gexy after the first round. So straight in there with a couple of replacement drivers to keep the numbers nice and solid. As we see Phil on coming through the chicane in the middle sector, up to turn 9 now, I believe. Third gear, just taking a little bit too much curve on the inside. Hit that little sausage curve, getting a little bit sideways. As he's got, I believe, Aries behind him. As he comes now into the final sector, yeah, Aries all over the back of him. Will be compromising his lap a little bit, although at this stage you'd expect them to go quicker later on once they've burnt a bit of fuel, but that banker lap crucial nonetheless. Phil now into the last couple of corners, getting it slowed down. First gear for the chicane, not taking too much curve to keep the car settled. Through the final corner, which is essentially just an acceleration zone, and onto the main straight, so he's going to come across the line. Aries goes straight away quicker by 9/10. We've got a car off in the background, I think. Atomic, I think, ran wide on the exit of the final corner, and we've got plenty of times coming through now. As we just, possibly a little bit of a comment there, I think. As Timmy comes across the line, Leprovic as well. So I think everyone's set a time. Bog now across the line, and Shane. So I think that rounds out your runners, or do we have one more? Yeah, one more in the final sector. Is Bagpuss. In fact, Deneen, I think he's round is in the pack, but yet to set the time, so he was a little late out on track, which will cost him a lap of fuel burn. Bagpuss goes 9th on a 140.131. So yeah, we're 13 runners tonight then. Deneen on an out lap, so yeah, he's a couple of laps down on the rest of them. And he's off track as well. Oh my, well, that's one way to go about your outlap, and now he's going to have to wait for the pack to come through as well, so that's going to cost him even more time. We're 5 minutes in, and he's yet to get a lap on the board, full of fuel still as well. Nicker well out of shape in the background as well. So yeah, people finding this final sector a little tricky. It can be in these GT2 cars or Super GT cars. They prefer the higher speed corners definitely. As Aries into the pits as he was last week, pits a lap earlier than everyone else. He's straight off, so out lap, flying lap, in lap. And we've got Bremer tonight. Actually, that's something we missed. If my memory serves me from one week to the next, I don't think he attended last week. So that's, albeit a regular driver, the first time we're seeing him in the Super GT machinery. And Shane is in this time as well. So yeah, we'll try and pick up a couple of hot laps as they come about. I think Wesley is Wesley on a hot lap? Yeah, but he didn't pit, so he's still on old tyres, you can see. He's got his teammate Aries right behind him. And I will try and pick up the standings. Actually, I'll just leave you for a second while most are on outlaps, and I'll get the standings back so we can have a look at what effect the races this evening will have on the standings. So yeah, be back with you in a second. Okay, so welcome back, and yeah, short little break there. We're up and running now then. So Fifi is a straight swap for Gexy at Saints and Sinners alongside Tommy, and Bagpuss is a new entry with Tapper Racing using Honda. So I believe we still have a full field of 16 entrants, but only 13 racing with us tonight, as Wesley comes round on his out lap. So at the moment then, and I'll just try and get set back up again with the keyboard. Deneen finally sets a time of a 1:38.983. Puts himself where at the moment? He's somewhere in the midfield, is he? 8th at the moment with that lap. Shane goes quickest though, at 1:35.980, half a second clear of Wesley, who is not, well, he's on his way round on his first lap on new tyres at the moment, isn't he? Oh, as we see Aries running a little bit wide out of turn 5, that's going to cost him quite a bit of time. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Mike's popping a bit, that's probably me putting my glass down short. If it keeps happening, let us know. Might be a USB power problem, but yeah, a couple of dodgy cables hanging about in this room, but hopefully we should be fine. And Aries then, yeah, we think he's pretty much blown that lap, unless he can pull something out of the bag in the final couple of corners. So yeah, hopefully go on board with Wesley, yeah, as he comes through into the final chicane in just a second. Out of the final corner, what's it going to be? Can he get into the 135s? He goes across with, no, only a 136.2. So almost 3/10 down on Shane, which is, yeah, that's interesting. So Shane definitely looking pretty quick at the moment. Broomer goes across the line in, and is that the end of qualifying? Time is blocked by my laptop. Yeah, that is the end of qualifying then. So the timer that's on the screen at the moment, yeah, is the additional time. So that's it. So we have Shane on pole, I believe, unless anyone can go quicker. We've got someone out of the final corner who's gone a little bit sideways. That's Deneen. It might also be me using the keyboard, so I'll put that on my lap, try and yeah, limit any additional noise coming through that isn't what we want you to hear. But yeah, so that was a qualifying that passed us by pretty quickly. Only 10 minutes, of course, gives them just about enough time to get 2 runs in. Yeah, so Shane, Wesley, Aries lines up directly behind his teammate Phil with a very good qualifying in P4. Then the 2 GR drivers who are not actually both Bruma and Nika, and we'll complete the grid as we go through. Of course, no formation lap, so we are straight into the racing. Yeah, Bruma, Nika, Atomic, Bagpuss, Leprovic, Deneen, Timmy, and Bogorovsky completes the 12 runners. Fifi was cut off from the bottom of that then. And we will try and get a reasonable camera, because I think we're going to be underway any second. Engines revving, and yep, we're underway. A little bit of a bog down there from Shane, but I think he might get away with it. Pulled pretty well in second and third gear. We've got Bruma, I think that is, on the grass. But yeah, Shane in the second phase of that launch really hooked up and leads Aries into turn 1. Bruma, though, despite being on the grass, has got himself up into 3rd place. Phil and Wesley all the way down to 5th. What's happened to him? We've lost Nika as well somewhere, so what's happened there? Nika's lost a couple of places already. Yeah, stuck hung out to dry as well on the exit of turn 3. Needs to get back in from there somehow. He's dropped all the way down to 12th place though, behind his former teammate Timmy the Turtle, and Bogorovsky just ahead as well. Fifi is in P13 at the moment. Nika and Timmy getting a little bit close. We're going to go back up to the front though, because Shane is getting back end out a little bit early on, so yeah, giving it plenty. Aries just behind him. I'll try and get some can't understand, there we go. Yeah, so we've got the fuel loads and tyre wear to show you now. 30-minute race, of course, for the feature race. This is a new format that we tried for the first time last week in Fuji. Worked very well. I think the strategy here will probably be a 2-stopper at 10-minute intervals, but I suppose there is I think from memory there's a fairly long pit time. Obviously GT pit times were a contentious topic, but I think it's fairly long here, so that could make the 1 stop at 15-minute intervals a reasonable option. Shane across the line now. He's got Aries riding the slipstream. May have to go defensive here. We've got to move further back. Deneen, on Atomic. But Aries can't get Shane to that. Nissan seems to have quite a bit of punch left at the end of the straight, because Aries was very close early on. But yeah, where are we at the moment? Wesley trying to recover. He's now plugged onto the back of Phil. And the podium fight looks like it could be a very interesting one in this feature race then. The sprint race with no doubt some chaos to come later on as well. So yeah, 10-minute sprint race to follow. Going away from the traditional format of 40-minute endurance races that we've done in the first 3 seasons of GT Sport. Just bear with us a second while we try and sort some technical issues. Okay, back with you. I think what it's actually picking up short is the the laptop on the same desk. I've turned the gain down a little bit, so hopefully you can still hear me without picking up that static. But yeah, so we'll try and catch up with things. Hopefully we've not missed too much. Shane and Aries still leading out the front. Bruma's still third, and coming under a little bit of pressure from the Honda of Phil now, who's on the no one really took him seriously, saying he'd got some pace this season, but yeah, he's definitely showing that early on here. Wesley just still back there in fifth. He's dropped off a little bit as Phil tries to make a move on Bruma, but thinks better of it. Bruma with a little bit of a penalty, 0.3 there as well. We'll just carry on through the order. We've got Atomic running a very respectable 6th at the moment. Deneen's, despite visiting the scenery a couple of times, he's up in 7th place. Lepovic P8. Bagpuss on his debut is P9. Nicker still stuck down there in 10th place. And yeah, look at this, he's stuck in a lot of traffic after those first corner incidents. Bogorovsky and Fifi, and Timmy's dropped down to P13 somewhere. So we've missed that. Oh, a lot of curb there. Yeah, struggling to get it through the final chicane. We'll go back to the front. 7/10 between them, and just past the 5-minute mark. So yeah, no stops imminent just yet. Probably another couple. What are we saying? 1:37's up the front. So probably another couple of laps or so. That will give us a chance to just look through the championship standings after rounds 1 and 2. So yeah, Wesley. So I try and juggle about 1,000 things at once. So yeah, Wesley, after 2 podiums in Fuji, is top of the pile on 29, but Shane's win actually gets him on 29 as well, short and Aries with 28 apiece, so 4 drivers with just 1 point covering them so far. And yeah, then a big drop down to Nicker on 16 points, and then they're the only 5 drivers in double digits so far. We've got Deneen on 9, Atomic and Lepovic are both on 8, Bog on 3, and then the rest yet to score. Obviously, Bruma was absent last week. Phil didn't make it to the start after technical difficulties, but yeah, that's your championship standings at the moment. We'll catch up with the constructors in a little while. And we'll put that away. Get the keyboard back and crack on with some action, because this is developing quite nicely. So Phil, yeah, tries a bit of a dummy on Bruma, going for the outside now, but yeah, can't pull it off just yet. How are the tyres doing? Bruma's struggling with that left front, so possibly a little bit more understeer in that. What's he in? He's in the Lexus, isn't he? So yeah, Bruma P3 at the moment, but he's definitely got 2 drivers with a lot of pace behind him, and they are now right behind him. Aries, who's got a little bit of a penalty, as you can see there, but Shane, it's all going pretty swimmingly for at the moment. Your race winner in the feature race, of course, last week in Fuji. So yeah, he had a bit of a nightmare in the sprint, but once again showing why he is a former champion in GT3. So yeah, the feature race bagging in plenty of points, and of course get more points for the feature race. I think we're using the F2 system definitely for the race points. I think we're using it for the same points for the fastest lap and pole points as well. As Phil then is into the pits with 21 minutes 50 seconds remaining, very early, after just so what's completed 5 laps, putting us exhaust on. Yeah, don't think he refueled. Doesn't look like he would have. So yeah, new set of tyres and he's back on his way. Shane now with a 2.3 second gap to Aries. Bruma is just half a second clear of Wesley with Phil out of the way. He might be tempted to have a bit of a look through through turn 4. What a lovely shot that is from the inside. As yeah, Bremer again going a little bit sideways. Wesley, yeah, both are starting to have issues with the left front. Oh, Bremer must have lost it. Just looking away for a second there. I think he got sideways on the exit of turn 5, and Wesley's through then. So that's yeah, that's cost us a little battle there. I think we'll see quite a few drivers in this time around. He's got a penalty now as well as Bremer. And you can already see Phil in the background. Yeah, that's so yeah, not very long pit time at all. So definitely looking like 2-stop is the way to go. As Atomic is now coming under pressure from Phil. I think we'll see Shane in this time. 20 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. 6 laps completed. Yep, Shane in. Harry's in. Is his teammate Wesley going to follow suit? Just about. Bremer as well. So yeah, we're seeing everyone in. And the question there, of course, is, as Atomic pits as well, where is Phil going to come out? Is he going to lead a couple of laps here? It depends on where. No, Shane's already down there at turn 1. Aries as well, but he has jumped. Well, he was ahead of Wesley anyway, wasn't he? But he's jumped Bremer, who made that mistake earlier, and Atomic as well. And so has Bremer put? Bremer's put fuel in and gone for the softs. I think he's trying to go to the end. That's interesting. That's a strategy we didn't see last time in Fuji. So he's gone for a, by the looks of things, unless he's just massively struggling on those super softs, with 19 minutes remaining, I think he's planning on going to the end, and he definitely put more fuel in, or put some fuel in, as opposed to others not refueling, because he is, as you can see, quite a fair few seconds behind Wesley, and they were pretty much glued together coming into the pits. Bremer and Atomic now, yeah. So yeah, Atomic's been in, didn't refuel by the looks of things. So I've just completely knackered the controls there. There we go. And oh, look at that! Look at Bremer getting so close under braking despite the step harder tyres. Atomic might consider letting him go here rather than wasting too much time defending, because I don't think this is his race today. But if Atomic can get even a P6 today, I think that's. Oh, was he? As we're saying that, he gets massively sideways. Oh no, we've well and truly cursed him there. And is that Bremer around as well? Yeah, Bremer's been caught up in that. So that's, yeah, completely thrown out his strategy. He'll get away without any damage, but yeah, it's cost him a lot of time, and unfortunately, I don't think there was too much Atomic could do about it. He lost the rear end, and yeah, it looks like Bremer's been tagged in the process. That puts Nicker up to P5. He's the big winner there. So yeah, recovering. He was, I think, P6 on the grid. We saw him as low as 12th at one point. He's got a set of the super softs on, so he's sticking with the 2-stop strategy. And I don't know really, what does Bremer do from here? Does he go flat out on those softs, use the better tyres when everything starts to wear, and then, I don't know, try another set of super softs late on, or does he just stick with what I think was the plan of trying to go to the end on these? He's got Atomic just 1.5 down the road, so I think he's going to have to engage with him once again. But 1.92 seconds up the front, so it's pretty much stalemate there. Phil now looking very good for a podium, although he did pit 1 lap earlier than Wesley, but he was Wesley's on the softs as well actually, but has less fuel, so Wesley is going to have to pit again. He's just gone for the softs, I believe, because he destroyed the super softs in that first stint. He was sideways again through the chicane. So despite pitting a lap earlier, Phil's tyres don't looking too bad. Nick, his rears are a little worse than Wesley's. I think I've been told the Honda is a little tail happy, so you sort of expect that. But yeah, at the moment, Phil's definitely you take track position at the moment, certainly. Nicker is 11.4 seconds off that battle for the podium, so it doesn't look like he's going to get a chance in the feature race this week to step up to the top 3. but a good recovery nonetheless. And we'll just head down the back. We've got Timmy, yeah, really struggling down there at the moment. Fifi, P12 on his debut. There's some blue flags going. Bagbus, another debutant, is P11, so possibly a point or two on the cards if anyone hits trouble up front. Yeah. Sponsored by Corona. Lovely. We've got Leperovich and Bogorovsky fighting for 9th and 10th at the moment. This looks pretty intense, doesn't it? Bogorovsky, teammate of course to Phil, so his teammate's picking up some good points for the team in what is currently a Brit 1-2-3. And it looks like he's just about stemmed the charge of Leperovich for a couple of moments, so we'll continue up through the field. Deneen in reasonably lonely P8 and struggling to keep it in a straight line by the looks of things. Bruma now still recovering in P7. I don't think there's too much changing up the front. Shane with a reasonably comfortable 2-second margin. Phil and Wesley still with a little bit between them, but Wesley's using more of that left front despite being on lap fresher tyres and a step harder tyres, and he's also using more fuel than Phil, so I think Phil's on for a podium here. I'd be very surprised. Let's ride with him for a moment. There we go. Try and get on the bonnet if we can, yeah, or the roof, whatever it is. All looks pretty neat and tidy at the moment. Not stressing the tyres too much. Through turns 7 and 8, and now turn 9. Almost flat out in an F1 car, not at all flat out in these Super GT cars. A little bit wide, kicking up a bit of gravel as he brakes at about 120 metres for turn 10. Down all the way down to first gear. Up to second and third for an awkward little left-right chicane, followed by a ever tightening right-hander, and then yeah, the tricky last few corners with the big sausage curbs, all the way down to first again. Yeah, not hitting the curbs too hard, not putting any unnecessary forces through the tyres, not getting the back end out too much by hitting them either. All looks after the rubber. And he goes into another lap then, lap 11. We've got 13.5 minutes remaining. Not too much action happening on track. We'll try and find something. We've lost Leperovich somewhere, but we've lost someone else now as well. So that's Deneen, who, yeah, judging by his tyres, has just been in the pits. So Deneen is just ahead of Leperovich at the moment. Always looks like there's 2 or 3 steering movements extra going on in Deneen's car. He's definitely working hard in there as he tries to defend at the moment the last point, but I think Leperovich is... Can you see Leperovich's tyres? Yeah, he's on quite worn soft tyres at the moment, so you would expect Deneen to pull away. And Bruma is still 2.5, so he's actually dropped off the back of Tommy, and he's destroying those soft tyres. I don't know if it's something about the Lexus, but they're not working on the soft tyres at the moment with Wesley or Bruma. Both of them, they are pretty tight knit, so I don't know if they've shared a setup that is just hammering understeer and really putting that left front under stress or what, but yeah, nothing really working at the moment on those softs. Shane all nice and comfortable up the front, no need to push anything, with a 3.7 second lead, looking after fuel, tyres, everything, as he was last week, but he hit the front earlier this week than he did last. Took him a stint or two, I believe, last week. So at the moment, looking like getting some big points for the championship. Aries has the fastest lap at the moment, though, 36.3. Although you'd expect that to go when they make their final stops to put a fresh set of tyres on. That would be the point where they'll have the lowest fuel as well. At the moment, though, yeah, not too much on track action. Bagpuss just 6/10 ahead of Deneen. Bagpuss running the mediums. That's a lesser spotted tyre. Then we don't see that very often in RLH with the various tyre multipliers and things like that. But yeah, it's working for him at the moment as he holds off Deneen despite the new super softs. Deneen a little bit sideways and going to be wide there through turn 3 as well. And he's off the track as well then, but only a second behind Bogorowski now. We'll try and look for it. There we go, yeah. So yeah, this is becoming a three-way fight for the final 3 points paying positions. Is that Wesley in? Oh no, Phil's in the pits, so what's he going to put on? Another set of super softs then, so he thinks he can make it last. He's done another 6. The timing screen's completely lost its mind. 10, 13, 12, 13 apparently, that's a new way to count. But he rejoins the track in P4 then. Bruma's in as well, so he's gone for softs again, despite them not seeming to be a great tyre. He's chosen to go for that once again. Bogorowski in as well then, so he gives up that P8 at the moment. Deneen's got past Bagpuss somewhere, who I think is intending to go to the end on those mediums. Shane will probably be in this time, and you'd expect Wesley to be as well. His soft left front is absolutely destroyed. So I think Phil's going to retake that P3. Don't think he'll have enough pace to threaten Aries for P2, but we'll wait and see. Shane is in, Aries is in, and I think we're going to see Wesley in as well, as we said. The question is, what does he put on? I think he's going to go for the supers. Probably destroyed the softs even more than he did the super softs earlier on. Can sometimes be the case, depending on the car and the setup. If you've gone a lower grip tyre, you end up sliding more and wearing it more anyway. So Nick is in as well. Final stops for the feature race, of course. So I think there's going to be another set of super softs on that Nissan as well. Yeah. So that's all the major stops completed. Brim coming across the line. Is he going to be clear of Atomic? Excuse me. He is. That's pretty bad. Yeah, the fuel, yeah. So, Shane 5.1 clear of Aries now. Phil is, yeah, another 5-second gap back to Phil. And almost another 5-second gap back to Wesley. So we've got some big gaps at the moment. 11 back to Nika, 6 back to Bruma, 8 back to Atomic, 14 back to Deneen. There's not a lot of anything really going on at the moment. We've got a fight between Bogorowski on fresh super softs versus Bagpuss on old mediums, so I think that will probably be decided pretty quickly. As we look back at the Honda of Bogorowski. About half a second behind at the moment. Bagpuss struggling with understeer now though on those mediums. Bog might have a chance on the inside to turn 5, braking very early there, and possibly a little bit of desync as well. We've got a yellow flag. Who's that round? Who's been round? Is it a back marker? Ah, it's Timmy. Timmy's been off the track. We'll try and pick up. Where's the? Oh, yeah, Bagpuss a little bit wide through turn 9, and that's going to put Bogorowski on the inside for turn 10. Gets the move done. Not too much drama there. And I think Bagpuss could probably do with another pit stop. I'm sure he'll soon pick up the ideal strategies and the ways to go. At the moment, he's probably carrying a bit too much fuel as well, actually, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. Hopefully, just finish with a point or two tonight. Back up the front, nothing really is changing. Phil still maintaining a 4.7 second lead to Wesley. And yeah, I think unless anything major happens up the front, that's the points positions pretty much decided. Bagpuss not giving in without a fight. Fastest lap, still Aries at the moment. I think this is the first lap for some, first flying lap for some. The timing on the screen is has gone a little weird. I don't know if Shane's about to set a faster time. He is 35.885, gives him the extra point at the moment. Aries across the line a little bit slower. Phil, what can he manage? He's on his second flying lap, so I don't think we'll be seeing him go any quicker. No, Wesley back on the super soft now. No. So Shane might just have secured fastest lap for the extra point as well. Nicker goes personal best of a 36.1, but can't get anywhere near that fastest lap. Brumer on older softs. I don't think he'll be challenging for that either. Atomic and the rest are a little way off that. So Shane, I would think, has probably got 26 points in the bag, barring any disaster in what will be the last 3 laps, probably. 4.5 minutes remaining. He's about halfway around the track through turn 9. And we'll give it a little bit of track time to our leader. On board we go. Through the final sector then, he's got Timmy a lap down up ahead. Again, everything looking nicely under control. Nothing too aggressive. Staying away from all the major curbs. Doesn't really even look like he's trying, does it? Second gear, third before the final corner. Keeping it all neat and tidy. Timmy's already staying well out of the way, so yeah, good stuff. Only a 37.1 that time around, then, so a big drop off in pace. Even so, I think he extended by a couple of tenths over Aries. Wesley is just about starting to close down. It's 3.6 now with just over 3 minutes remaining. So as long as Phil can manage to stay to not lose a second per minute, he'll be okay there. But Wesley, I think, is still using more of that left front, which is killing him through turn 3, where we are now, and turn 9 halfway around the lap. Timmy as well there, once again staying well out of the way. The two GR boys are where they started, but the other way around, I believe. Brumer after that, well, Nicker after that chaotic first lap, being involved in quite a few incidents and getting hung out to dry at one point on the exit of turn 3. And Brumer, of course, yeah, really unfortunately caught up with Atomic spin. Not much you could do about that. But nonetheless, he's going to pick up some good points, and it will be obviously further forward for the reverse grid feature race. So Shane starting another lap, which will be his penultimate lap, and so we'll get 19 laps in by the looks of things. Yep, 2 minutes 10 remaining, so we'll get this one in around a 1:37, and then the next lap after that will be his final tour. Aries as well will get another lap after this one. Phil 3.2 the gap to Wesley, so I think he's pretty much sorted there. Wesley with a 1 second penalty as well, so that will probably help Phil a little bit. Nicker across the line, he'll just about get another lap in. I don't think Brumer will though. He's going to cross the line with 1:33 remaining, so I think this will be Brumer's final lap. He should be the first man across the line, but that of course means he's limited to 6th place. no matter what happens at the front from that point onwards. And what's happening further down then? We've got Atomic still in 7th, pretty comfortable at the moment. Deneen P8. Bogrovsky at the moment looking like picking up a couple of points for P9. Leprovic is P10 at the moment, but Fifi is on those mediums. He's only, what, a second and a half behind. And where's Bagpuss on new Supersofts is only 5.3 behind. So yeah, if they drop off, who knows? This is, of course, their final laps, as your leader is only just behind them, going around to start what will be his final lap. Half a minute remaining, so 19 laps will be completed in this half-hour feature race. Aries across the line as well, all pretty comfortable. Phil is maintaining the gap at 3.2, so I think we'll be seeing a podium here for the Motus One is the name I'm looking for, Honda driver. Wesley still struggling at picking up good points in 4th place at the moment. And we'll just go back to what's happening, because and that's Bagpuss and Leprovic. So Fifi's already got into the points. Leprovic is now getting forced down to P12. And Bagpuss on brand new Supersofts. Is Leprovic running a little bit wide? Just about stays on the track. I'm going to try and remember where our leaders are, because we need to be seeing that. Bremer and Atomic have already crossed the line. But we'll try and see if Bagpuss can close in. It's 2.3 to Fifi, who's on all mediums. That could become a bit of a race. We'll try and switch between the two. As I think Deneen and Bogrovsky are crossing the line in 8th and 9th. They are indeed. We've got Shane just behind us here. We don't want to miss the leader, but we've got Fifi and Bagpuss with just a couple of tenths between them. A little bit of action here on the final couple of corners. Can Bagpuss get a better exit? Oh, it's going to be so close. Fifi takes the final point. Bagpuss 11th on his debut. Shane, though, takes another feature race win to go with Fuji last week. Aries is going to cross the line in 2nd place. Phil is 4.4 seconds clear of Wesley, coming across the line for P3 and the podium. Wesley is across the line in P4, and Nika will be your last man to finish in P5. So yeah, unfortunately for Bagpuss, both he and Fifi, of course, making their first appearances tonight. Just 7/100ths of a second between them. Short, I believe, confirming on the stream that that first podium in GT Sport. I'm pretty sure it is, but this man is certainly no stranger to the podium. Shane with once again another win, and we'll be back in just a second. We'll need to set up the grid, of course, for the reverse grid sprint race. So yeah, we'll be back in just a second, so stay with us. So as you can see then, we've already got a couple of drivers out on track, just a little bit of a warm-up. We hopefully should have the grid ready in not too long. So yeah, we should be ready for the sprint race, which definitely has the potential to cause a little bit of chaos, as we saw last week. So as we're just waiting for the last couple of cars to enter, I believe he has entered. So yeah, hopefully get the grid set pretty shortly, and before too long we'll be back out on track. It's just a 10-minute sprint race, of course, so not too long to go, and we'll have GT wrapped up for another week. As we see Wesley getting a little bit of mileage under his belt. Obviously it's quite a different race now. Strategy and such goes out the window to an extent. And yeah, tyre choice could be interesting. Obviously it's 10 minutes plus plus possibly another lap, which is longer than they were doing a stint on mainly the super softs in the feature race. So I wonder if anyone will go for the soft. At the moment, Wesley, you can see, is on the super soft, Fifi and Aries as well. Leopard's out there on the soft tyre. Atomic on the super soft, so I think everyone's gone for. The back bus goes for the soft. Bogorovsky, Deneen and Nick are all on the super soft, so we've got two guys currently running the soft, but none of the leaders from the feature race, as we hopefully should be getting underway in just a few moments time then. And we'll try and pick up the grid. I haven't made a note of it, so we should get it any second. I think it will be up on screen, hopefully. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. So Timmy's on pole. So yeah, straight reverse grid. Timmy on pole, Leprovic, Bagpuss, Fifi, Bogorovsky, Deneen, Atomic, Bruma, Nika, Wesley, Phil, Aries, and Shane. So Timmy will lead us away. Red's building once again. We're going to be underway now. Timmy getting a reasonable start, and Bogorovsky and Atomic look to have made very good starts indeed. Hopefully, oh, we've got Deneen off and in the wall somehow. Not entirely sure what happened there, but Timmy looks like he's going to lead into turn one from Bagpuss. Bagpuss makes his way through though, and Leprovic and Atomic, the two teammates there, they're not teammates at all, are they? Or are they? No, it's Leprovic. Leprovic and Fifi? I have no idea. And Deneen's off at the back again and round, so that's him out of the contention already. We've got, who else have we got off? Is that Fifi? Fifi's dropped all the way to the back. Yeah, we've lost Fifi as well. Yeah, so that's not gone well. Bagpuss leads though from Aries, so he's made his way up the field very quickly, hasn't he? Aries on the super softs is already going to be going into the lead through turn 9, I think, or probably going to get a better run with that wider line. Oh, a little bit of contact. Can he get through as we go down into turn 10? Having a little look, not quite. We've got action further back as well. We've got Atomic, we've got Bruma. Oh, and that all got pretty close, didn't it? What happened there? Bogorovsky drops back a little. Bruma is through. Timmy and Atomic as well. And we'll try and keep up with all the action at the moment. Aries has hit the front though from Bagpuss. Bruma now P3. The final podium position at the moment. Atomic and Timmy and Shane, your race winner, is already up into 6th place. Making his way through quite a bit quicker than he did last week. Really struggled with it in Fuji, but he's on it here. As Bruma tries to hunt down Bagpuss. And we'll go on board with him. Just 7 tenths, but not not enough straight line speed this time around. And Shane is looking the same sort of distance behind Atomic. Bogrovsky P6 at the moment. Nico is on the inside of Timmy through turn 3. That's all getting pretty tight. Phil's just behind us as well, yeah. Nika is through by the looks of things. Wesley is really struggling though. Down behind Leprovic in P11 at the moment. Deneen, recovering at the back at the moment. And Aries still leads. Bagpuss is still maintaining that P2 on soft tyres, of course. So remember that. He's going to probably come on stronger towards the end of the race. We saw Bruma really struggling with tyre wear in race 1, but at the moment he could look like possibly making a move into turn 10. Shane's got P4 as well. Bruma up inside. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can, but Bagpuss looking back at the inside. I don't think he'll have enough room to get through there. Nope. Nice job done. P2 then. He's got 3.4 seconds though to Aries up front, who looks probably like he's got this one in the bag. Made a lot of ground up in that first lap. Chaotic first lap really, but Shane is closing in rapidly on Bagpuss as well. Atomic and Nika P5 and 6. Bogrovsky and Phil and Wesley. What's happened there? Wesley's facing the wrong way. Phil, I think, gets going again, but Fifi's going to get a better run at him. And Wesley's right down at the back now. With just 6.5 minutes remaining, he's got a lot of work to do. Remember, he's right up there in the championship as well. So that's going to be a massive blow for him. Bruma 3.8. I don't think anyone's catching Aries in this race. He got to the front just too quickly for anyone else to handle. Shane is just about closing in on Bagpuss at the moment then, who's definitely making a solid effort of this sprint race. He's the only one really remaining of those who started up the front. Obviously Aries and Bruma were top 6 runners in race 1. Shane and Atomic was P7, wasn't he, in race 1, I think. So yeah, everyone else is already down the back. And what's going on in the mid pack? We've got Nika just a little bit behind Atomic at the moment. Leprovic, that's only a bit of a penalty there. But Fifi is at the moment just about. No, he's not. I was about to say he's staying ahead of Deneen, but he's not. And he's got Phil there trying to recover as well. As Wesley takes Timmy for P12. Phil up the inside of Fifi, who runs a little bit wide. Should be able to get the move done from there, and does. Wants to make sure he doesn't tighten the chicane too much now and compromise his run down the start finish straight. Aries though, 3.7 is still the gap. Although his tyres are taking a little bit more of a hit, but should be more than comfortable at this distance. Shane's passed, Shane's through on Bagpuss, so P3 and the final podium position going to him at the moment. Although Bagpuss, those soft tyres holding on nicely. And Atomic and Nika looks like it could be a little bit of a fight. We'll go on board for a moment or two. Just half a second between these, so yeah, this is pretty close. Atomic running a little bit wide. Nika gets a better exit, much cleaner exit. Turns 7 and 8 chicane. All nice and neat and tidy at the moment. What did Atomic have on? He's got supers on as well. If he's very wide there, that's going to compromise his exit. Kicking a bit of gravel up. What can Nika manage? He's going to be about 4 tenths behind, a little bit too far behind at the moment, but if he can stick with him through this final sector, he may have something to say down the start finish straight. Although Shane is not giving up on Bruma, who's once again using those front tyres a little bit more. 5.4 the gap to Aries, who is also using quite a lot of the front tyre. Shane might not be out of this yet. Definitely not for second place. As we come across the line to start lap 5. Fastest lap of the race is still Aries, and I think he'll keep that because I don't expect we to see any pit stops with just 3 minutes remaining. What lot on earth's going on down here. Phil then is P10, so yeah, only P8 is your last point scorer in the sprint race, and at the moment we've got Bog and Deneen fighting over those last 2 points paying positions. We've got Phil up the inside of Leprovic as well, can't quite get the move done. Just 2.5 minutes remaining then, so I think we'll get this lap and the next one. So that'll be 6 laps completed then. Aries 4.4 clear, but look at this, we've got a real fight on our hands for second place here. Shane has closed massively on Broomer in this lap, just 0.3 and might even be looking for a move into turn 10. Able to keep it much tighter than the Burana driver at the moment. I don't think he's through. Oh, and a little bit of contact as well. Broomer runs off the track. Where's he going to come back into things? Behind. Oh, and he's spun. He's lost it over the sausage curb. Same corner. But he got caught up with Atomic in race 1, and it's all falling apart once again. Tyres absolutely had it as well, so he'll really struggle to make much progress up through the field. Nicker is possibly on for a podium here because he's back to clear Bagpuss for that P3. Shane 4.5 off Aries. I don't think he can do anything to stop him. I think this will be the final lap. Aries, I don't think we'll get round in enough time. Or will he? It's going to be quite marginal, but I don't think Shane will get another lap, so it could become irrelevant. But Nicker at the moment is 7/10 clear of Bagpuss, who's probably on for a bit of a race with Atomic in the final few corners. Broomer unfortunately now looking pretty lonely in 6th place. It looks like that'll be him for this afternoon. And what on earth's going on here for the final point? The two Motor Swan guys, Phil and Bogarowski, with Leprovic in the middle as well. It's all getting a bit argy-bargy. Hopefully Bog doesn't take his teammate off. They're all getting pretty close. Oh, and Leprovic with a bit of a hit on Bog as well. So all getting their elbows out back there, but at the moment it's 3.7 between Shane and Aries. If Shane could have got to the front a little earlier, I think he'd have definitely had the pace to win this. Is it going to be another lap? We've got 20 seconds remaining. We might just see the lead pair, get another lap in. Shane, 10 seconds left. He needs all the time he can get because all the while Aries' tyres are going off. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Aries crosses the line, he gets another lap. Shane's going to get another lap. Nicker's going to be the first to finish with a podium. So Nicker coming across the line for the Team Default Nissan. P3 confirmed. Bagpuss with a brilliant P4 on his debut sort of evening. It's his second race now, of course. Atomic P5. Broomer unfortunately down in P6. Deneen P7. Phil takes the final point in P8. Leprovic and Wesley only P10, couldn't recover from his earlier collision. Fifi, Bogarowski and Timmy round out your runners, so there's only your top 2 remaining, and I don't think Shane's got enough, but who knows. He's got a lot better tyres than Aries, and there's always the potential for a mistake, of course. It's down to 3 seconds as we're about halfway around the lap. Understeer really creeping in now though. Turn 9 will be a killer because he's got basically no left front. It's 2.8 now. All depends on what he can get out of this final sector. 2.5, it's going down all the time. So Shane will be trying everything he can. We'll go on board because this is your former GT3 champion absolutely on the limit, giving it everything. He's 2.4 now behind. I don't think he's going to have enough time. He's definitely got more of a front end on him. You can see how much tighter he's able to hold the car, but 2.1, it's not going to be enough. I think Aries is going to hold on, barring a mistake through the final chicane. But what an incredible effort from Shane to get the gap down. But Aries takes the sprint race victory, I think, for the second race running. So I think, unless I'm mistaken, as Aries and Shane cross the line, I think we've had the same feature race and the same sprint race winner 2 rounds in a row. And that's it for another week of GT Sport. And what a race that was. The first one was pretty stale in the end due to a couple of incidents, but it definitely came alive in the... What on earth is going on there? Cars moonwalking across the track by the looks of things. But yeah, definitely plenty of action in the sprint race there. That shorter format with reverse grid always throwing up plenty of incidents. But yeah, once again, thanks for joining us. And it's pretty late now. What are we on? Yeah, 8:15. So overrunning a little bit from usual. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And we will be back for GT Sport next week. The F1 leagues are having a week break at the moment, but we do have Nations Cup action on the RLH YouTube tomorrow night, so that's 7 p.m. UK time as always. So yeah, be sure to check that one out. It could be a very eventful night and a little bit of a fun thing to do while we have a week off from the main league racing. So yeah, thanks all for tuning in, and for another week, I'm Fretty, and yeah, goodbye.